All right, coming in hot because I got a question of the week for you.
Do you?
So this
Bring
one
it on
is,
my
of
games.
course, as always, this is tailored for you because we know how
Yes.
big of a Star Wars fan you are. But we're about to
Correct.
test how big of a Star Wars fans you are.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we got two teams. On team
Okay.
one, we got Darth Vader, Darth Revan, Darth
Mm-hmm.
Nihilius, Alo-
Nihilus.
Nihilus works for me,
Nihilus. Nihilus.
Aloysius Kalig, and Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Team two,
Mm-hmm.
we got Star Killer, Darth
Mm-hmm.
Malgus, Darth
Mm-hmm.
Bane,
Mm-hmm.
Tulik Horde, and Quimir. Quimir?
Yeah. Kimir.
Quimir. All right, and that's team two. So, simple question. Who's going to take the W? Team one or team two?
Team one. Darth Nihilus can absorb all energy. So, back in the Old Republic, he destroyed a planet called Qatar by absorbing all life energy on the entire planet, thus rendering it uninhabitable for anybody for the rest of existence.
Okay.
He
Is
destroys
it
planets.
instantaneous though? Because we got some heavy hitters on team two.
It was in Legends, and so it took, the way they described it, it didn't say that it took it didn't say, oh, it took 5 minutes for Darth Nihilus. That, like it just said Darth Nihilus began to absorb all life on the planet. So I'm assuming it'd take a tiny bit of time. In that time, like Revan, one of the greatest Sith swordsmen of all time, has been confirmed by other people. Vader, canon Vader, or I guess not canon Vader, but like feats Vader, not necessarily what we've seen in Disney, but just by all feats Vader has ever done, they would be able to hold off the other. There's not much known about Aloysius. There's not a lot known about him. Kylo Ren is trash. He's gonna die immediately. Honestly, he's gonna get fucking smoked because Malgus is just gonna fucking rip his head off with the Force. But because Malgus, first of all, my favorite Sith lightsaber is Darth Malgus's lightsaber. His hilt is fucking amazing, and Star Killer is an amazing. He's not necessarily a Sith Lord, but he was Darth Vader's apprentice in the Force Awakens, or not the Force Awakens. I forgot what the video game was, but anyway, Star Killer is one of my favorite apprentices, and Darth Malgus is one of my favorite. The other ones are strong, but just the sheer level of ability above them being Darth Vader and Revan. Not to mention, Nihilus wouldn't even have to destroy the planet. Nihilus himself was considered the strongest Sith Lord, almost in existence. He was stronger than fucking what's his name? Palpatine's master, the one that he said could bring people back to life.
Yeah.
Which Nihilus was able to do, was bring people back to life by giving them life energy back. He was stronger than all of them. Revan was just a master swordsman. His lightsaber skills were to peak. Vader's natural force abilities are stronger than most. He was the only one out of all of them that was born purely from midichlorians, which means his chakra pool, his force pool is a leagues above anybody on here. Ren is just fodder at this point. Ren is just fodder to, he's like gravel. You just throw it at the enemy. Yeah, he 100% is the weakest link. Again, not much is known about Aloysius, but I've heard his name. I don't know much about him personally, but I would believe that he would be able to at least hold his own a little bit. Kamir is also trash. And no, this is team 2, by the way. He's the one that was in this last show that Disney put out, that garbage fucking show. I already forgot what the fucking name of it. Acolyte.
Acolyte.
Yeah, the Acolyte. He was there. He is not a canon. Okay. Technically, he's canon now because he was in the Acolyte and Disney created it. Disney owns it. They make canon. Understood, right? But he doesn't have any feats minus that show.
So he's not in Star Wars lore.
He's not in Legends. No,
okay.
He's not in lore. He's not in Legends. He's not anything except for that show. That is his first canon appearance. Feats alone, he's also fodder. So him and Ren would probably go at it. He would probably beat Kylo Ren, I would think. But other than that, Nihilus, Revan, and Vader would wash them. Last standing on the other team would probably be Bane and Malgus. Starkiller gets mad too easily and ends up fucking himself over. He's like a nuke. He's like a fucking force nuke. He just gets mad and then explodes. But Team 1 is definitely taking it. If they can hold off, I mean, he'd probably kill his own team as well. But if they can hold off, Nihilus would probably wipe the entire chessboard.
Okay.
Like even his own people.
I mean, who's the game changer on Team 2 though? If they can't hold them off, who can be the one who can kind of stop that?
Probably Bane or Malgus. Malgus was a tank. Malgus was like think of him as kind of like a Vader, but done right with less technology. So a lot of us in the Star Wars community know that the reason why Palpatine put Anakin in that suit, that Vader suit, was to limit him, because they had so much more technology that could have made him so much stronger, right? They had technology where there was already concepts that George Lucas worked on and that other fans have worked on from not just headcanon, like technology that was in the world that they've seen of Star Wars that they could have given Anakin, and Anakin could have, like that whole Mustafar shit where all his arms and legs cut off, his face burnt, like that wouldn't have been shit anymore. It wouldn't have mattered, because he could have had all types of like electronics and like things that worked so he wasn't restricted or in pain like he was.
I mean,
and Palpatine himself had already said that he did that to Anakin because the goal of the Sith is for the apprentice to kill the master and become the master. And so Palpatine was trying to hold that off as long as possible. And he was trying to limit Anakin. So but Malgus is kind of like Anakin, to where he kept getting hurt over and over and over again, like just from being a reckless fucking tank. And he would just fucking get cybernetic enhancements over and over and over again. And eventually he just kept becoming unstoppable. I mean, this man was wiping out Old Republic armies like they were nothing. like just wiping them. I mean, you could see some of his feats, and there's the cinematic trailers for the Old Republic games that are on YouTube, and they put them all together, kind of like how they do with like Elden Ring and things like that. Like, you know, the clips or the scenes, the cut scenes.
Yeah.
They put the cut scenes together, and they're considered canon. Malgus is a fucking force to be reckoned with. But his chakra pool isn't the highest from what I've seen. But Bane's chakra pool is like, so it'd be Bane or Malgus would be like the showstoppers. But with Revan on their team, Nihilus and Vader, Nihilus wouldn't even have to like take the planet. I'm just going off of like sheer feats. We need to kill everybody here. Nihilus would beat it. But if it was just like straight hands, no planet killing, they have three. I mean, don't get me wrong, Starkiller is he's a great swordsman as well, but he's still an apprentice. Like at the end of the day, like you can beat Vader in the game as Starkiller, but that's like a side mission. That's like, you can have two separate stories, but in most stories Vader killed all of his apprentices because none of them were strong enough, and Starkiller was one of them. So they have too many heavy hitters on Team 1 to where the big heavy hitters on Team 2 would get overwhelmed if we weren't wiping the planet. But at the end of the day, all feats, Nihilus is wiping everybody from existence.
Okay.
Like,
I pretty much I found this one, you know, on the old social media, and that's pretty much the arguments I heard. I've heard for and I've heard against, but pretty much the ones who believe Team 1 will win it believe Nihilus is going to be the game changer, the one who's going to obviously take the energy from everyone else. But in your opinion, or from what you've seen, your perspective, when it comes to the Force, because I just heard you big up Bane a little bit, does he have comparable Force to Darth Vader?
Experienced Force, I would say yes. To pull from, no. So I think so. It's like that age-old argument for Naruto, right? Naruto can go up against somebody who has better control of chakra, but at the end of the day, Naruto's not going to tire out because his chakra pool is stronger. You know what I'm saying? So like Bane is more masterful with the Force, but it comes easier to Anakin, or it comes easier to Darth Vader, and he has more of it because he was born from the Force. He's like the fucking Force Jesus, but went bad.
Jesus,
that's literally
what he is. Actually,
that's literally what he is. And he did what he was supposed to do. They talked about bringing balance to the Force. He killed all the Jedis except for one, and so now it was equal. Instead of just being one Sith Lord and a bunch of Jedi, he was supposed to bring balance to the Force. He fucking did at the end of the day. So
he was the equalizer. He did his job.
Yeah, he just went on the wrong side of it. Like, Jedi were in the wrong, to be honest, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Oh, that is a whole
the Jedi Council were corrupt and they were fucking wrong, 100%.
All of them?
Oh yeah, most of them.
Even Yoda?
Yeah. Yoda was the mastermind.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they did it maliciously,
mm-hmm.
but they talked about bringing balance to the Force. This is from the books, the movies, everything. All my knowledge is coming from everything, and they talk about bringing balance to the Force, balance this, balance that, but really all they wanted was nothing but light instead of light and darkness. But then Yoda would preach that light needs darkness, darkness needs light, which is the age-old argument that we hear in every story and every book and everything. And like they wanted the person that they chose to be the chosen one. And there was a lot of talks from the council where they were trying to pick and choose who would be the chosen one. They were even going to not hire, but like fake a messiah, fake a Jedi messiah. They were pretending they weren't politicians and they weren't war fighters, but then they got into the Clone Wars and then tried to constitute martial law. And it's a whole, like, the Jedi Council was very corrupt. And then when Anakin came and was the actual Jedi Messiah, or was the actual Force Messiah, they were mad that he was killing all the Jedi, but they didn't say he was supposed to bring balance. Balance means equal. Doesn't mean join the light side and kill all the Sith Lords. That's not balance.
That's what they hoped the Messiah was going to do.
Mm-hmm. They had wanted, and of course it's coming from, I'm not saying they were doing it maliciously. It was coming from a place of goodness.
Yeah.
But like, you can't bring balance to something. I guess it would be more, not necessarily like, they were corrupt. There were corrupt stories about them, but I wouldn't say they were necessarily like bad. It was more from a place of like egotistical ignorance, if that makes sense. Like, they're like, we want you to bring balance.
The Galaxy Order.
Yeah, we want balance. We want balance. We want balance. But then they're like, we can't let these 2 Sith Lords live. We need to kill them. Like,
they literally made armies of Jedi. Like, they were training Jedi at the Cyclic Rate at one point. Yeah. While still keeping down the Sith. Like, that's not balance. That's not balance.
That's not balance.
So.
That's not balance. Is 2-2, 1-1, 10-10, 1,000. Yeah, but and then Vader killed Palpatine, and then then the balance was unbalanced again, and then Kylo Ren came about because darkness needs light and lightness needs darkness. Like, it's always been and always will be. It's just that's what needed the balance, and that's why a lot of skeptics for Star Wars think that's what, because the universe and like the Force is a living being. Like, so if you've ever watched the Clone Wars TV show, they go to the planet where the Force originated, where the children of light and darkness, and it explains the father of the Force talks about his children, how one needs the other, one can't be without the other. And when Anakin had his visions of being Darth Vader, and then they wiped the visions from his mind, and that whole thing, the father was like pretty much saying this needs to happen. Like, he needs to become Darth Vader in order to actually bring balance to the Force, or else like the universe will go out of whack and like cosmic level fuckery will start to happen if there's no dark and there's only light. But that's why Luke survived, Kylo Ren was born. Kylo Ren, died, and then some other. It's always supposed to be equal. So, anyways,
it's one of the greatest stories ever wrote. It makes sense that it has this underlying themes.
I mean, there's a whole thing to, there's like a bunch of conspiracies and a whole like linkage to like Christianity, religion. There's all types of stuff when it comes to like Star Wars, especially when it comes to like the light and darkness thing. And like, like I said, I think the Jedi were corrupt. But anyways, going back to your thing, Team One.
Team One.
Nihilus is wrecking, to be honest.
Okay. Hey, I don't know half these motherfuckers. I saw Kylo Ren, I saw Darth Vader. I said, hey, Team One taking it. There it is.
The last two on each row don't have a lot of canonical feats. They don't have a lot of feats anyways. Like Kylo Ren, for example, he doesn't have he's been in movies, but you've never seen his feats. Like, he doesn't really, the biggest, like, I guess I would say the coolest feat, and I'm doing air quotes here, the coolest feat I ever saw him do was stop a blaster bolt, because we've never seen a Force user ever do that before, because old boy shot the blaster at him and he stopped the bolt in midair and then kept talking, and then let the bolt go. Like, that's about it. We haven't seen anything other than that. And the other one was from the Legends TV show. I forgot what his name is, but he didn't do much. Kamir didn't do much because he was only an acolyte, and then I forgot who the other one was, but like there's not a lot for the last two. It's really the top 3 on each row are going to be the ones that like bang it out.
Okay.
Like, so.
You got me more interested. Honestly, I need to check out I know I haven't watched the Legends yet, but I didn't realize that they were like introducing other characters from lore. I need to check that out.
No, the problem is like these arguments, if you try to fight a Disney Star Wars stan, these arguments become invalid because they can tell you, which they're not wrong, is like these people aren't canon anymore. And it's like, well, then you can't bring them up then. So like if somebody says, oh, Revan versus Kylo Ren, and then I say, well, Revan this because this feat, they're like, well, those feats aren't canon. I'm like, well, then technically Revan's not fucking canon anymore because Disney said when they took it, everything before that is no longer canon. They even said the old movies weren't canon. They retracted that. But I'm saying in the beginning, they said the old movies weren't canon. Legends wasn't canon. The only thing that became canon was Clone Wars because they made that because Disney made Clone Wars. Rebels because Disney made Rebels. And other than that, like the books, the video games, the lore books, the all that shit is not canon anymore.
That's crazy.
And everybody was fucking pissed because like the Vader feats. I mean, to be fair, I will give it to Disney because Disney did Vader justice because every time they put Vader on the scene, they made him more canonically correct to what he was, but they still said his feats before. Like Vader was in one of my favorite Vader moments to wrap this up is he was in a valley of like 10,000 rebel troops. They surrounded him in a valley and they said, give up, Vader, you're surrounded. And he said verbatim, the only thing I'm surrounded by is fear and dead men. And he killed all of them, every single one of them. Like, and he walked out with fucked up. Don't get me wrong, he walked out fucked up. Like face mask was all cut off. His arms were fucked. His arm was fucked up.
I thought he had a Madara versus the Shinobi Alliance moment.
He did, but like I mean, he walked out a little messed up, but he was still walking. And then, like I mean, yeah, he fought, and then the 501st showed up because in the Vader books, which are my favorite books by the way, this is like between when he becomes Vader and then like A New Hope, like between Luke Skywalker, it was all the shit Vader did in between. Some of the best Vader shit you have ever heard of or read in your life. Like,
I'm sure they had to explain how he became the menace of the galaxy. Like at one point he went from the good guy, the hero of the Jedi, to the menace. Like everyone literally Minato. You see him, you run.
Honestly,
explain all that shit.
They had a run order. He was the Black Flash. Like you see him, you dip. Like some of the shit he fucking did is fucking astonishing. But I mean, Disney did him okay. Every time you saw him, they did him pretty well. Like they gave him some feats that were pretty good, like pulling ships down and ripping shit out. Like that's the Vader that I know.
That's the Vader I know. It's the only Vader I know.
Fast.